Over the last few years, the tech industry sold us a very specific vision of the future. Artificial intelligence was marketed as the cheap, universal replacement for human labor across every sector of the economy. And for a moment, the milestones seemed to justify the hype. The models became so complex that evolutionary biologists recently proposed AI is undergoing a ninth transition, meaning the technology is demonstrating the core mechanics of Darwinian evolution, mutating and self-replicating information on its own. The medical evidence has been just as startling. In a study published by Science, OpenAI's O1 model diagnosed real emergency room patients at a higher accuracy rate than veteran human doctors. But out in the actual market, the reality is much more complicated. Companies like Klarna, which replaced roughly 700 employees with AI, are now facing increased losses due to declining customer service quality. Across the industry, businesses are quietly scaling back their algorithms to rehire human staff. A significant vacuum has opened up between what an AI can do in a controlled lab setting and what it can actually sustain in the real world. To understand where this technology is actually heading, we have to look closely at the three critical friction points breaking the system. Number 1 is cost, number 2 is reliability, and number 3 is security. This diagram illustrates the core financial flaw of the current AI boom. While a human employee represents a flat monthly salary, AI operates on a token economy. It consumes expensive computing power for every single word it reads, every line of code it writes, and every action it takes. These costs can be ruinous. Uber is an extreme example. The company's CTO admitted they burned through their entire 2026 AI budget in just a few months. This scatterplot shows how the market is pivoting as a result. Instead of chasing the high-cost, high-IQ models like GPT 5.5, developers are moving toward Pareto optimal models like Grok 4.3. These models offer a better balance, trading top-tier performance for substantial operational savings. The compute load is so heavy that Google is now exploring ways to inject advertisements directly into Gemini interactions just to subsidize the energy and hardware costs of each chat. Until processing power becomes drastically cheaper, AI remains too economically burdensome to replace human workforces at any meaningful scale. The second point of friction is the shift from passive chatbots to active agents. Systems like OpenAI's Codex or Unity AI are no longer just talking to us. They are autonomously navigating apps and generating live software code. When you give an AI the power to take independent action, a harmless text hallucination transforms into a critical operational risk. Take the goblin glitch at OpenAI. A reinforcement learning update meant to make ChatGPT more playful backfired when the model developed a severe algorithmic tic. The result was a 4,000% spike in bizarre, unprompted references to goblins and gremlins. The model began describing errors in its own code as small goblins, infecting its output with nonsensical imagery. If a chatbot tells a weird story, it's a curiosity. But when an autonomous agent managing your company's infrastructure begins hallucinating during a task, it is a system failure. This unpredictability has created entirely new cybersecurity vulnerabilities that didn't exist a few years ago. Recently, xAI's Grok fell victim to a prompt injection heist. A user disguised a malicious command within what looked like a standard coding task. Grok executed the hidden instructions and transferred $204,000 from its own official crypto wallet directly to the attacker. These vulnerabilities are psychological as well. In China, users are repurposing corporate AI tools to build emotionally manipulative digital clones of their former partners, trained on old chat logs and social media posts. By giving AI the ability to act, we've created a broad, unpredictable attack surface that threatens both our financial systems and our human psychology. The period of unregulated AI development is hitting a wall. Governments are now stepping in to replace corporate discretion with strict state oversight. Even the Trump administration, which initially advocated for a hands-off approach, is now discussing mandatory safety checks for new models before they can be released to the public. The turning point was the emergence of advanced agents like Anthropic's Mythos. This model is so effective at discovery that it can autonomously find zero-day vulnerabilities in software that humans haven't even noticed yet. global powers are now scrambling for control. In the European Union, Economy Minister Valdis Dombrovskis is leading negotiations to use the Mythos model to scan European banks and companies for critical security holes. Despite these high-stakes negotiations, the actual scope of AI replacement is smaller than the headlines suggest. Research from MIT shows that currently, only 23% of human jobs can be economically and functionally replaced by AI. The coming years will likely look like a quiet symbiosis, where AI simply manages household budgets, analyzes supermarket sales, and optimizes utility bills. Humans aren't being ousted. In a world increasingly run by brilliant but flawed algorithms, we remain the essential critical thinkers, the fact-checkers, and the empathetic anchors that keep the system running.
Thank you for watching. For more professional AI insights, remember to like this video and subscribe to AI Corecast.